Hi, it's Karina. Today we are making hummus. Hummus is all-round winner in my opinion. It's very easy to make, delicious, moreish, and I think it's just a powerhouse of goodness. Just look at the ingredients: the chickpeas, tahini, crushed sesame seeds, fresh lemon juice, garlic, olive oil. They are all excellent ingredients. So just whisk them all together and there you have it. I made hummus so many times and people ask me for the recipe that eventually I did measure carefully everything, and I'm going to share this recipe with you today. 95% of the time, I'll be honest, I make hummus out of tinned chickpeas. But actually today I cooked chickpeas from scratch, and I think the hummus will be ever so slightly nicer. I bring them to the boil, switch off, cover with the towel, let them sit, repeat it a few times and then cook for a little bit. So drained weight here is 240 grams of chickpeas. So will measure 240 grams of my cooked chickpeas. So you know the proportion relative to the 1 tin of chickpeas. Right, your life will be much easier if you would have a food processor handy, like my big beast here, Magimix. So this is handy if I make a big double portion, say, of hummus. Probably I'm going to use it today as well. A small mini chopper or even hand stick blender would help. Or failing that, you can make hummus even with the fork. Just mash it and you would have some kind of rough, kind of rustic consistency, which is not bad. You would still can make hummus without any of those implements, but they do help. Right, so we measure 240 grams, equivalent of a tin of chickpeas, my freshly cooked chickpeas, sending them to the chopper. So now squeezing juice, we would need probably around 2 lemons, but I have exact measurements, which is 70 ml of fresh lemon juice. Oops, never mind tips, we will sort them later. So you got to balance creaminess of tahini with sharpness of lemon. Tahini is quite blunt, and the more you add it, the more you need to add lemon juice as well to balance it out. So 1 medium clove of garlic, this is perfectly enough. Don't do even large clove of garlic, would be too much in my opinion, just medium. This one slightly bigger than medium. Okay, goes in from the beginning. So our 70 ml of lemon juice go in straight away. 70 ml of boiled water, carefully, cold boiled water, 70 precisely. Water goes in. 2 full teaspoons of cumin, which is quite a lot, but it works for my recipe because my hummus generally is quite rich. Smells great, meaning it's quite fresh. I usually buy spices in bulk and keep them in a freezer and just use that amount daily. Just fill those little jars, which I quite like to collect, and all my spices are neatly organized, and this way they're always fresh, and you save a lot of money if you buy them in bulk from specialist shops or from the internet actually. Now tahini, I normally use any brands, they're all good in my opinion. I try to buy in glass jars though, and as you can see, it always separates in a jar, so the hard sediment, there you can see the oily runny bit is on top and the sediment is at the bottom. Opened very easily. You got to stir it very well before using, because most of the taste is actually in the sediment, so you want it kind of more or less uniformly mixed. So we're going to measure 220 grams of stirred tahini, which is quite a lot, but then we used lots of lemon juice to cut through it. Bring scales to the 0. Most of this jar contents will go. It's only 300 mils and we need 220. Oops, bit too much. Right, stirred it to our best. Right, salt. We're gonna try for salt later. And we're ready to go. Just everything in one go. Okay, let's try. Looks good. A tad too thick. We might need to add tiny bit more water. It's perfect, honestly. At the moment it's perfect. Everything is perfect. I think it's tad too, just tiny bit too thick. I mean, it's perfect as it is, but hummus thickens up as it stands, so next day it would be much thicker. So because I used, perhaps it's because I use chickpeas from scratch. I cooked them from scratch. They were not tinned chickpeas. Maybe that's the reason. But I'm going to add tiny bit of water and see what will happen. So let's add tiny bit. I don't want to add much. All right. Okay, it goes much whiter immediately. Right. Let's try. It's good. It looks very good. It's perfect as it is, the consistency. Let's try the taste. Perfect. Just spot on, in my opinion. I'll show you the close-up. And since we added a tiny bit more water, I will add tiny bit of salt. Let's see if we get away without adjusting other ingredients. Yeah, this is more like it. Good, lemon good, salt good. It's rich. It's good. It's good. So bear in mind that it will thicken next day. Should be all right. So it was just a quick whiz. Everything goes at the same time. And there you go. You will never want to buy these overpriced little tiny plastic tubs of hummus. Because in the shops, to increase the shelf life, they use far too much salt, in my opinion. And I think for the lemon, they would put, I don't think they put freshly squeezed lemon juice. It would be lemon acid, which is zero goodness in it. And olive oil, I would not add in, but I would drizzle it with plenty of olive oil when I serve it. Just jumping in my mouth. And you will see what a huge amount we get in comparison. It's probably worth 3 of those little tiny plastic tubs. We drizzle it with olive oil. The combination of tahini, olive oil, lemon, garlic and cumin with a little bit of water possibly is a tahini sauce, which you can use with fish, for example, and vegetables and other things. So as you could see, hummus is a doddle to make. It so easy. When I first time tried hummus years ago, it was with bulgur plov, which is bulgur wheat, cooked to fluffy state like rice. And I thought at the time it was a combination made in heaven, and I still think so. It's one of my favorite taste combination. I think they go together incredibly well. So I would eat hummus like a side, kind of, rather than dip something into it. My hummus is quite rich. I would add a little bit of cumin to bulgur when I cook it. And I put maybe extra olive oil on top of everything, and it's just divine and very, very nutritious, healthy, and etc. You can make hummus with, for example, any kind of beans, white beans, red kidney beans. I made hummus with split green peas, dry green peas, was very nice. So you just mix these things with this classic combo of tahini, lemon, garlic, and cumin, and there you go. And as you could see, it was spot on immediately. I didn't have to adjust anything. The only thing, I've added a little bit of water, thinking about tomorrow when it will thicken up. If you add tahini, you got to add lemon to balance it out. If you feel it's a bit too lemony, just add a little bit of tahini. Or if it's too bland, just obviously add some lemon, salt, and there you go. But my measurements, if you stick to them, you should adjust very little actually. So I wish you many happy hummuses in the future.